Yes, indeed. B Marsh Boxing back at it with another boxing video. Was good boxing heads and fight fans around the world. So Amir Khan comes out, man, and he's being hypocritical in my opinion. You know what I mean? I read an article, and this man Amir Khan's talking about maybe Anthony Joshua has fear. That's why he didn't face Wilder. You know what I mean? So Amir Khan is basically speculating that Anthony Joshua has a bit of fear in his heart when it comes to facing the man Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Of course, as we know, the two heavyweights been trying to negotiate the terms for months ago, but apparently the negotiations fell through. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua faced two fighters this year, Povetkin and Joseph Parker. Deontay Wilder faced two fighters, Ortiz and Fury. Definitely better fighters than the guys AJ fought for this year. I don't care what nobody says because you're not going to start talking about Povetkin being like that. You know what I'm saying? Or just to boost up Anthony Joshua. That's what we're not gonna do. You know what I mean? Nobody was saying Povetkin is a top two, top three, top five heavyweight before that. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, when Povetkin knocked out David Price, he became a world beater. Yeah, all right, okay. Um, you know what I'm saying? But the man Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of talking greasy about the man Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read some quotes. Quote: One thing about fighters, the fight would have happened if Joshua wasn't scared of him. Maybe he has a little bit of fear in him. That's why the fight never happened. It's hard to say sometimes. Maybe Josh was getting paid more money to fight someone easy, and he thought, why should I take the risk? Because it is a risk at the end of the day. End quote. Now, Amir Khan is in no position to be talking about nobody has fear or scared of anybody and ain't got no heart. That's what he's not gonna do, you know what I mean? And if he does it, that's why I'm gonna make these videos, you know what I mean? Um, Let me read some more quotes. Um, Amir Khan's basically saying, after saying all that about AJ. He's basically talking about Wilder and Fury, you know what I mean? And he says, I think maybe they'll both take an easier fight in between, basically like an interim fight. Um, Quote, I think maybe they'll take an easier fight in between because sometimes what we see in two hard fights on the trot can take a lot out of a fighter. Get the confidence back, take an easy fight, little work, go back to the hard fight again. As I as I've been told by many trainers, many experienced trainers, they say, never jump into a hard fight again. End quote. So that's how he feels about what Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder should do in the meantime, in between time, after that classic battle they had on December 1st, Showtime pay per view. You know what I mean? But like I said, this guy is in no position to be talking about anybody being scared. You know what I mean? Now, if it was somebody else who was more credible, you know what I mean, than Amir Khan saying these words, you know what I mean? You probably would take him. You take them more seriously. You know what I mean? Somebody of merit, maybe somebody like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, I don't know, or some old school legends. You know what I mean? Just some fighters who are more credible. But a guy like Amir Khan, when he's talking this, you know what I mean? You just got to take it with a grain of salt, basically. You know what I mean? Because this guy been ducking what's the guy's name? Kell Brook for like 6 years, you know what I mean? They both now in the same stable, Matchroom Boxing over there on Sky Sports, Eddie Hearn shit. And they still can't make the fight, you know what I mean? The man, it's all on the man. It's obvious. It's look. I bet you, if you ask everybody who's avoiding the fight between Kell Brook and Amir Khan, all roads and signs point to the man Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? It is. You know what I mean? And if you don't see it that way, take your blinders off. That same scenario, in my opinion, goes for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Albeit that the fight is on a bigger world class scale than Amir Khan versus Kell Brook, that's when you'll have your detractors, you'll have your naysayers, you'll have your people who are against the fight, who basically don't want to see the fight because they keep talking about money. They keep talking about attendance, pay-per-views and shit like that. Well, the official word hasn't come out on Wilder's pay-per-views. I've been seeing 300,000 plus, you know what I mean? That's excellent because I thought it'd be between 150 and 200. You know what I mean? So that's excellent for the man Deontay Wilder. He brought 17,000 people in a 21,000 seat arena. You know what I'm saying? And if you got a problem with that, then that's on you, man. You need to actually reevaluate your life if that type of stuff, those numbers and stats bother you. You know what I mean? Because I know it does bother Anthony Joshua fans and the detractors of Deontay Wilder because they don't want to see the fight. They want to pigeonhole and any which way they can to denigrate the man Deontay Wilder's accomplishments. You know what I mean? As far as him becoming now a more popular star. You know what I mean? Just he's taking leaps and bounds, fight by fight. He's getting more popular, and sooner than later, Anthony Joshua and the Anthony Joshua fans and detractors will have to recognize and realize. You know what I mean? But like I said, Amir Khan's in no position to be talking about AJ being scared or having a little bit of fear in him, you know what I mean, and questioning his heart, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, anybody else who was credible, if they say this, yeah, I'm on it. I'd agree with them, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, Amir Khan, a guy who's been ducking Kell Brook for all these years, that's what he's not going to do and get away with, you know what I mean? So he going to get that work, you know what I mean? Fellas in the chat, One of Demons Media, what's happening, man? He says, what time it is it where you are? It is 10:28 in the morning, Eastern time. Shiz Biz says, big up, B Marsh. Big ups to you, Shiz Biz. What's happening? Mike D, yo. What's good, son? How you feeling, man? Mike 104 says, good morning, friends. Good morning to you, Mike. Mike D says, what's poppin'? He says, what's up to Mike? Mike 104 says, I respect how Fury took advantage of getting in the ring with Klitschko and Wilder. He just needs to fight Ortiz and Joshua to hit for the cycle. No question about it, man. He's doing things that a lot of fighters wouldn't do. I seen somebody big ups to Del Boy, man. I didn't even comment on this video. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, man. If I were not big ups to Del Boy, I fucks with his channel, man. But if I, there'd be always people following me and shit, man. When I leave comments on his channel, man, them Anthony Joshua fanboys, man, and Hearn fanboys, they be all following me and shit. But I don't never respond to them. You know what I mean? I'd be like Tyson Fury. Who are ya? Who are ya? Nobody, you big dosser. You don't even have a channel. You think I'm going to be there commenting, writing storylines with people who I don't even know? I know some people in the comment sections, you know what I mean, who are credible boxing fans. We could dialogue all day. But when fellas come and trying to be on some protecting Anthony Joshua because Del Boy, big ups to him. He made a video saying like Deontay Wilder needs to step out of his comfort zone. I just wanted to ask Del Boy, should Anthony Joshua step out of his comfort zone? Last I remember, Deontay Wilder came over there to England. He's been to England before, and not just for sightseeing. He came there and beat the shit out of Audley Harrison. You know what I mean? Has he what? He has never stepped out of his comfort zone. Should Anthony Joshua step out of his comfort zone? People got to put things in perspective. You know what I mean? And that's what I was talking about yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on your certain channels just banging on a particular fighter. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up dragging their name all through the dirt and all that. And I'm not saying that's what Del Boy was doing. No, not at all. But I'm just saying in general. You can't be doing that, you know what I'm saying? And then when somebody throws a rhetorical question back at you, you know what I mean? Fellas getting their feelings and shit. Like fighters don't have are not in the same position, you know what I'm saying? As far as everybody should step out of their comfort zone, not just Deontay Wilder, you know what I mean? Tyson Fury been done that, been there and done that, like Mike 104 says. But it is what it is. Let's keep it moving, man. Dan the Man says, what's up, B Marsh? Big up to everybody in the chat. Big ups to you, Dan the Man. And this ain't Dan the Man from California who got a boxing channel. This Dan the Man from UK with the Jack Johnson avatar. What's up, Sean? Mike D says, people hating on Wilder, B. I fed up now, G. Yeah, people hating. I'm gonna put it like this, man. Look, man. I've watched that fight numerous times now, man, and I got a draw. And if anybody who has anything other than a draw, then I don't know what to say, man. I'm not gonna question your scorecard, man, but I call it fair, straight down the middle, man. Nobody won that fight. Nobody did enough to win that fight. Tyson Fury would have done enough if he ain't hit the canvas twice. Even if he had hit it once, he would have won on my card. But at the end of the day, the fight was a draw. We must get a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Warren Medioros says, big up. Big ups to you, man. Mike D says, great spotlight on the heavyweight division. Big spotlight, man. All kind of legends came out there, you know what I mean? And it's only right, man. This is USA Boxing Heavyweight Championship. The mystique of the 90s that we used to have. It kind of felt like that watching that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, you know what I mean? Enough great fighters were ringside, from Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Michael Spinks, Floyd Mayweather, all the current crop of fighters in the PBC. There's a lot of great fighters out there, you know what I mean? Lennox Lewis. Okay. Mike 104 says, to illustrate how much Amir Khan does not want to fight Brook, he'd rather fight Canelo and Crawford to get his block knocked off for the fifth and sixth time rather than jump in the ring with Brook. Exactly. And I will admit, Amir Khan has a great resume. Amir Khan has been in the ring with a lot of great fighters, from Barrera to Danny Garcia to Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with a lot of good fighters. You know what I mean? Win, lose or draw, he's fought a lot of good fighters. But the only thing missing on his resume is Kell Brook. Mike 104 says a loss to Khan means more to Khan than his health. Yeah, he don't. His pride is getting in the way, and he just can't fathom losing to a guy like Kell Brook. One of Demon says, "I think I know what you mean by now, B Marsh." LOL. Mike 104 says, "I don't know. Khan don't want that work. Not from Kell Brook. You know what I mean? Like what Mike 104 says, he'd rather fight anybody else." Mike One of Demon says what's up to Dan. What's good, G? Mike D says, as an AJ fan, he looking suspect, B, on the real. AJ needs to step up the competition. Yeah, he does. He does, because really and truly, man, who was Joseph Parker? Joseph Parker was the guy coming off a controversial, boring ass fight with Huey Fury, and Huey Fury's garbage, man. He's a cold bum. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Even when Joseph Parker won that title in New Zealand versus Andy Ruiz, I had Andy Ruiz winning that fight. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker also had a controversial decision with so let's put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? The WBA belt AJ got, he beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was 41, and all of a sudden Vladimir Klitschko is now, before Vladimir Klitschko had lost to Tyson Fury, man. We know what the rhetoric was and the narrative was on this guy. He's boring. All he do is smash and grab, punch, and then lean on motherfuckers and clinch. You know what I'm saying? People considered him boring. You know what I'm saying? Now, apart from his title defenses, people weren't really giving Vladimir Klitschko, Dr. Stillhammer, the props that he gets after he gets beat up by AJ. In a great fight. Sure enough, the man showed a lot of character, a lot of heart in that fight, more than he has in previous fights, Vladimir Klitschko. But we can't forget that 10-year reign, you know what I mean? We can't forget that 10-year reign where we wasn't really feeling the heavyweight division. You check it? Now, Tyson Fury, like I said yesterday, he opened up the floodgates, you know what I mean? He's the one who opened up the doors for the heavyweight division to prosper. And the WBA belt was on the line when Vladimir Klitschko and AJ fought. Sure enough, it was a more exciting fight than Tyson Fury's fight, but Tyson Fury made easy work of Vlad. You know what I mean? And then what's the other belt AJ has? The IBF belt. Well, look, he beat Charles Martin. Who the fuck is that guy? You know what I mean? Who the fuck is that guy? That's the guy who got a belt on a dubious decision because the Glaskov guy tore his knee out in like 2 rounds. I mean, goddamn, man. Like really and truly, let's look at how these guys won their world titles. Some may say, who the fuck did Wilder beat? He beat Bermain Stavern. Bermain Stavern got that title when he beat Chris Arreola. You know what I'm saying? You check it. So, you know, yeah, he beat a guy in Stavern, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people rated Stavern, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You check it. Um, I think that the man Vladimir Klitschko, I'm sorry, Tyson Fury doesn't get the credit that he does deserve for beating the man Vladimir Klitschko, and AJ gets more credit, and that's not right. You know what I mean? That's not right. The man was coming off a loss, a year and a half out the ring, Vladimir Klitschko at age 41, and he lost to the guy who was much younger. You know what I mean? He got blasted out, but it is what it is. Um, if Anthony Joshua is a real one, he should fight Tyson Fury just off GP. Tyson Fury keep talking about all those belts used to be mine. Anthony Joshua should say, well, come get them. Come take them off me. You know what I mean? Come get them off me if you think they're yours. You check it? Okay. Mike D says, I gotta draw true. I gotta draw too. I mean, I speak my shit on Wilder too, but these guys are straight out disrespectful. Dan the Man says, I had it 8 rounds to 4 for Fury. The 2 knockdowns evened it on my scorecard. Well, if you had it 8 rounds to 4, and there's 2 knockdowns, then you should have had Tyson Fury winning on your card, Dan the Man. I had it 7-5, and the 2 knockdowns made it 113 to 113. You know what I'm saying? If you have it 8-4, then you're gonna have it 114-112 in favor of Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Dan the Man says, big up to one of Demons. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing your name correct. I don't know. Mike D says, I watched the amateur scene too, so I'm really familiar with Anthony Joshua and I like the way his career progressed, but he's getting to the point where he can't be fighting the level of competition he's still fighting. If he was serious on being the best, Ortiz would be the best option if Wilder versus Fury 2 happens. Yeah, I agree with that. That'd be really nice if he fought Ortiz, a guy who was his mandatory, a guy that Matchroom promised that they'll give him a fight. And then and Anthony Joshua, look, your guy Anthony Joshua, the guys, this guy be putting everything on the table, but people are not blind. You know what I'm saying? They blind and they not really paying attention. You don't remember when the man had 2 belts before he had even fought Vlad, IBF, and or was this after? Probably even after. Maybe even before. Not before that. Yeah, it was Tyson Fury was the one supposed to be fighting Ortiz. But look, there was a point in time when the man had the 2 belts. Yeah. He had the WB. Yeah, he had all 3 of them at the time, right? How the fuck he get the W? Oh, he got the. No, he ain't had the WBO. He just had the IBF and the WBA. He had 2 mandatories: Kubra Pulev for the IBF and Luis Ortiz for the WBA. I'm gonna ask you guys in the question in the chat right now. Right now, who's an easier fight for Anthony Joshua? Is it Kubra Pulev or Luis Ortiz? Just put it in the chat one time, please. Just help participate. Let me know in the chat what's the easier fight for Anthony Joshua. Is it Kubrat Pulev or is it Luis Ortiz? Go ahead, write that in the chat. My man, Dan the Man Boxing. Kubrat Pulev, of course. That's the easier fight. Big ups to Dan the Man. He put the news out yesterday that the man Wilder's pay-per-view numbers are flourishing. And big ups to Dan the Man. I know Dan the Man been on it. I know Dan the Man been doing his investigation. He's been doing his homework. And he's really been digging for them numbers. And that's a good look. But I appreciate all y'all. Warren Meteor says Pulev. Mike 104 says Pulev. Already ducked, man. Mike D says Pulev, of course. Like I said, the man was had 2 mandatories: WBA, Ortiz, and Kubra Pulev. What did Anthony Joshua say? He says they're gonna fight Kubra Pulev first. You know what I'm saying? They said that they obligated to fight Kubra Pulev first. You know what I mean? And they kept talking about what you call it. They said they had the, that they'll fight the man Luis Ortiz after. You know what I mean? And they prolonged Luis Ortiz over there on the matchroom side. You know what I mean? Look, if Anthony Joshua is really about that life of taking on the best competition, the tough opposition, why he ain't fight the man Luis Ortiz when he was on Matchroom Boxing, when he was a mandatory for the WBA belt? You know what I mean? How comes? Why was he eager to fight the man Kubra Pulev? Kubra Pulev probably see how eager and salivating this guy Anthony Joshua was to fuck him up over there in Cardiff. He said, "Fuck that! I got an injury. I'm out of here, man. You could go ahead and fight anybody else." And he fought Carlos Takam instead. I mean, the writing's on the wall. You know what I mean? If he wanted to fight the WBA mandatory in Luis Ortiz, he would have. Okay. March MB says, let's not talk about the Ortiz situation because it's the same as Povetkin versus Wilder situation, even worse. What do you mean by that, March MB? What do you mean? Luis Ortiz ain't popped dirty for no steroids when he was supposed to get a fight with Anthony Joshua. I'm not quite getting that. It's not the same. Povetkin versus Wilder. Povetkin took steroids, meldonium. Dan the Man says, my bad, B. Marsh. I had Fury up 2 points going into the 12th. The knockdowns evened it out. Yeah, that's how I seen it too, man. 7 rounds to 5, 113, 113. The two knockdowns evened it out. No doubt about it. Mike D says, AJ got fans in the U.S. Mike D says to Mark MB, AJ got fans in the USA, and we want to fight that fight Ortiz. We want that fight top four heavyweights fighting. I don't care that shit in the past. Feed him to Ortiz. I'd love to see that fight, man. I'd love to see that fight. As far as Anthony Joshua fans in the United States, man, it's a anticlimactic it's a anti Joshua kind of atmosphere out here, man. From what I've seen, especially from news publications, from even TMZ, from boxing articles, ESPN, everybody, man. Like everybody knows that man Anthony Joshua is not fighting Deontay Wilder, and that's a problem. You know what I mean? And that guy's not known out here, man. His Showtime numbers prove that. Clarissa Shields, a lady boxer, she does more numbers than AJ over here. You know what I mean? Okay, where we at in the chat? Dan the Man says, so what will the Fury versus Wilder pay-per-view numbers be, Marsh? Have they been official yet? Well, I seen Dan the Man's video yesterday, and it was 300 plus, if I'm not mistaken, and I've seen other channels make videos about it too. Whoa, Dan the Man says it's reported to be 400K now. Man, they exceeded my expectations. If that's what they did, man, Anthony Joshua fans and Eddie Hearn and them will be upset. That's not what they wanted, man. And I'm not saying that just out of nowhere. All throughout, even when I was on a couple hangouts on Sunday, people there actually talking about the attendance and they acting like they were there, you know what I'm saying? And saying that the joint didn't do no 1,700 plus. They said that on the Showtime broadcast, you know what I mean? So why I'm going to listen to some YouTubers who have made a habit and a living off hating and on Deontay Wilder? They never give him no props or nothing. So why I'm going to listen to you about attendance that you weren't even there? Y'all fellas didn't even pay for the fight. Fellas streamed that shit. And you going to tell me about what the people on Showtime said the attendance was? Come on, man. Another thing that the AJ fans, you see, these people are not cool, man. How you gonna come and say that Showtime paid Holyfield and Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe and Michael Spinks and Ernie Shavers? How you gonna come out and say that Showtime paid them to come over there and talk bad about Anthony Joshua not accepting the 50 million? Come on, man. Those legends don't have to say that. If you have a mind of your own, you know the guy didn't accept the 50 million. I heard Barry Hearns say, I'm so glad that we didn't accept that 50 million. I thought there was no $50 million. I thought that shit didn't even exist. Come on, man. People, man, I don't like people sometimes, man. Boxing fans are the worst, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I even got on this YouTube shit and started listening to videos, I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all. I never used to come on YouTube and listen to, like, I would type in a fight, I don't know, Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Nonito Donaire on YouTube. And I'd see people's videos about it. And I wasn't one to really be listening to videos of people like that. I was one to just come on YouTube and watch old fights that I never got to see or that I missed, or just legends that I never got to see like that. You know what I mean? That with the opportunity of YouTube, man, like I could go watch fellas like Kosai Galaxy. I had always heard about Kosai Galaxy when I was younger in the Ring magazine. I had never seen this guy fight. You know what I'm saying? I could go on YouTube and I could watch numerous fights, and that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? But you know, with the YouTube shit, some people just be talking out their ass, man, and that's why sometimes, man, I've really kept my subscription of boxing content. Like I listen to few channels, and I mostly have a lot of channels like Ellie Setback, Fight Hype. The ones that have the interviews with the boxers. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know who you are if I listen to you. You know what I mean? I already leave comments straight up. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, man, they be going off the wall with just everything they say about boxing, man. They trying to convince you that Tyson Fury didn't get up at 9. I watched the fight that Saturday night. I seen the guy get up at 9. Only problem I had was how Jack Reese gave him a lot of time, putting his hands on his shoulders, making him run around and like how the cops pull you over for on a DUI check and try to tell you to walk in straight lines and can you hop and hold your nose and stupid shit like that. That's basically what Jack Reese was doing for Tyson Fury, make him walk back into his corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he was given a little extra time, but I'm not gonna bitch about that. But people are saying that the man didn't get up at did it he got up at 10. I didn't see that, you know what I'm saying? But then I also see where people have a point where a guy I seen Adonis Stevenson, man. He sparked out a dude on Friday Night Fights. This was way before he was even with the Crunk Gyms when he was wearing white trunks. You know what I mean? He sparked out a dude named Buster Monty or something. Straight left hand, flush in the face. Boom! The guy goes down. He's laying on the canvas like he dead. He's not moving, eyes closed, laying there. The referee counts one, two. Man, he sees this guy ain't moving, and he calls it off. He waves it over him like it's a wrap. Soon as he does that, the dude gets up like a spring. He just jumps up like, whoa, hey, I'm up. Like, that's the same thing Danny Jacobs did with the man P-Rog, you know what I mean? You check, when you land there with your eyes closed, these referees, man, they're going to jump there and they going to stop the fight. But Jack Reese said that he's going to give the benefit of the doubt to a champion. And when he said that, I heard his interview on Fight Hype. I ain't even mad at him, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Look, other referees going to call it off quick, fast, and in a hurry. But he said these are two champions, world heavyweight boxing. And he wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. And that's what he did. And it looks like he gave him a little extra time, too. But that's neither here nor there. Where we at in the chat? Martin B says, yes, I want to see that fight too. Dan the man says, still not official, but it's still counting at this moment. That's awesome, man. To be honest with you, B. Marsh, Wilder versus Fury rematch is more interesting than Wilder AJ. Yeah, it will. It is because it'll be conclusion. It'll be a conclusion to the great fight they had, and you never know. They might even have a trilogy. You know what I mean? You never know. You check it, and AJ gonna be left fighting. And if they do have a great rematch, and it's a very great fight, and people want to see it again for a third time, what the fuck AJ gonna be doing? Fighting Big Baby Miller, Dillian White, Chisora, and all the other Euro bums, Manuel Char and them? Come on, man. People not gonna be with that, man. People gonna be flaming him up. I know I will. Um, Danny Man says, good, I'm happy for both fighters. Me too. I'm happy for both fighters, no doubt about it. March MB says, just hope since Wilder's having a rematch with Fury, I hope AJ fights Ortiz, but we all know it won't stop the BS until both AJ and Wilder fight each other. Yeah, Ortiz is a good fight for the man what's his name? AJ, because he was supposed to have been fought him, you know what I mean? And Deontay Wilder stepped up to the plate and he fought him. And I remember when people said Deontay Wilder's ducking Ortiz. He was ducking him, but he tried to fight him on two occasions. The first time the guy popped dirty for the banned substance. Then the second time, you seen what happened. Then the man says, I was there at Staples. The arena was lit. Yes, indeed. I know you was there, man. That's a good look going to support the heavyweight fight. If that shit came to DC, man, I'd be in there like swimwear too. You mind? I ain't never been to a world heavyweight boxing fight like championship status like that. I haven't. I seen heavyweights fight. I seen Luis Ortiz versus Tony Thompson. And all y'all motherfuckers out here who be talking about Luis Ortiz never headlined. What you talking about? I was there. HBO card. Luis Ortiz versus Tony Thompson. Undercard Saddam Ali versus Jesse Vargas. Great fight, you know what I mean? I see numerous knockdowns that night. I even seen Oscar Escandon versus what's the other guy's name? Robinson Castellano. That fight wasn't televised, but it was a great fight if he was there in action, in live action to see it. You know what I mean? That's a fight he headlined, and he headlined against that mountain man from West Virginia, Daniel March. So what people talking about? The guys never headlined. People just be pulling shit out a rabbit's hat and not really even knowing what they talking about. Mike D says, "Yeah, B Marsh, it's hard out here for an AJ fan, but I know about a lot of fighters you should check out. Khalid Cole, he gonna have a good pro career. Khalid Cole, where's he from? Is he amateur? Where's he from? I never heard of him. Mike 104 says, I streamed it. Any boxer organization wants me to buy a pay per view. That card better be stacked with names I want to see. Yeah, I put up, man. I put up with my bands, you know what I mean? We put that up on the big screen, 70-inch TV, and we put up. People came and threw down, you know what I mean? We ain't have no massive fight party. You know what I'm saying? One, two, three, about four, five, about five, six people, you know what I mean? So I just threw down, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did, you know what I mean? And it was well worth it. March MB says good numbers are good for boxing and all, but we still won't know Wilder's won't know Wilder's true value until he stands alone on pay per view. Because anyone can do good numbers with big names as dancing partners. I know this is harsh. March MB, that's not a valid statement because Tyson Fury ain't never done no pay per views here in the United States. I don't even know if he's done pay per views over there in the UK. You know what I'm saying? And if he has, he ain't no big UK pay per view star. So how the fuck could he be a big UK star here in the United States? So what you want, March MB? You want Deontay Wilder to fight a guy like Daniel March, the West Virginia Mountain Man, so we could find out Deontay Wilder's true value. Come on, man. That sounds ridiculous, man. His true pay per view value. Come on, man. Nah, man. People tuned in to see two big mammoths, 6'7" and 6'9", get it in the ring. You know what I mean? None of them had done pay per view before. We know Deontay Wilder's value now, 400K plus and counting. You know what I'm saying? Mike D says to and March MB, why we talking money, Joe? That ain't our position at all now. That's that BS fake AJ fans do. I'm a real AJ and boxing fan, and I want to know if my horse is the best, so to speak. I agree with you, man. That's what it's all about. Want to see who's the best. Now, if you come on my channel and say AJ will knock Wilder out, I have no problems with that, man. Like dogs, that's why fights get made. You know what I mean? We want to see the fights. May the best man win. Just like Fury and Wilder, may the best man win. You know what I'm saying? You check it. Anybody putting their blood, sweat, and tears in the ring for our entertainment, whoever deserves to win should get the W. You know what I mean? Dan says to March, and it's been this way. Canelo, Pacquiao, Mayweather can only do huge numbers. Well, 400K plus is huge numbers for Wilder in his first pay per view. Even Floyd Mayweather, he ain't do no 400K with first Arturo Gotti in his first pay per view. Go look at Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones pay per views. They ain't fellas ain't never reached no 400K. You know what I mean? So if that's what Wilder got, good for him, man. Then the man says, if they have a dance partner. Mike D says Cole is an amateur. Okay, where's he from? The UK, USA? Where he from? Mike 104 says, I want to see Damani Rock come up. Young heavyweight from Philly. I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with who that is. I heard the name, though. Shizbiz says, ain't Wilder looking to fight his Mando? I don't know if he's looking to fight him, but the Mando is probably, Brazil is probably, he's been a Mando for a while now, you know what I mean? So you never know. That could probably cock block the fight between any fight that Deontay Wilder wants in the future, whether it's with AJ or or the Fury rematch. March MB says, I'm talking numbers because, well, talking pay-per-view numbers, but yes, let the best man win. Yeah, if you're talking numbers, then Wilder did great, man. He surpassed my expectations. You know what I mean? On another note, man, I want to send a rest in peace to Marcus Bayer, you know what I mean? Three-time WBC champion, super middleweight, you know what I mean? He was a guy that I'm not too familiar with his whole career, you know what I'm saying? I seen the man boxing beats and rounds. He put out a video, But I seen the guy fight guys like Richie Woodhall, you know what I mean? Um, Richie Woodhall and the most significant fight I seen the guy fight, he beat Richie Woodhall for the WBC belt, you know what I'm saying? Um, but the most significant fight I remember from him, and that was probably the first time I seen him fight, was when he fought Mikhail Kessler, and that was for the WBC. That was actually a unification, you know what I mean? And it was in Denmark, and Mikhail Kessler, he sparked the sheet, he knocked him the fuck out, you know what I mean? Laid him out. You check it. I thought Marcus Bayer would have retired after that knockout, but he fought again, I think, once or twice after that. But he was a good fighter. You know what I mean? Out of Germany, anytime, in my opinion, 168 has been a division throughout history that's been more dominated by the Europeans. You know what I mean? Guys like Marcus Bayer and Calzaghe, Frach, what you call it, Kessler, you know what I mean? And if you look at, I think the guy even fought Sakio Bika, if I'm not mistaken, Marcus Bayer, you know what I mean? If you look at Andre Ward's resume, the best names he beat are the European dudes. He ain't got too many African Americans there, you know what I mean? And, that's because a lot of these 168 pounders were Europeans, you know what I mean? And, he ain't got too many brothers on that, and that's no fault of his. It's just what the landscape is and was, you know what I'm saying? And just want to send a rest in peace to Marcus Bayer, you know what I'm saying? He was a good fighter, He was a guy. He never had no long. I think the longest time he defended his title at most retained it about 4 or 5 times, you know what I mean? On three different stints. He wasn't no long time champion, you know what I mean? But he was a good fighter nevertheless, you know what I mean? And he fought Mikhail Kessler, and that was the fight I distinctively remember, man, because Kessler was a puncher. Okay, let me see where we at. Okay. Uh Hop. What's up, Hop? What's goody, son? Hop's in the chat. He says, hit the like. A dozen people in here and only 2 thumbs up. Hit that like button, y'all. Give big ups to my man Hop, man. He's a good dude, man. Appreciate that. Unbiased or biased boxing talk. What's good, son? How you feeling, man? He's in the chat. Says facts. March March MB says at Mike, no worries, my G. It's all good. It was a misunderstanding. Mike D, the so-called black, says Wilder deserves 50% of the American market as of right now. If and no but or buts his profile is lit, my recommendation is all about Wilder in my YouTube stream and my Google News. It's all about Wilder. Yeah, it's been about Wilder, man. He's been trending since Saturday. You know what I mean? Him and Tyson Fury. No Anthony Joshua fight in 2019, or what are we, 2018, gathered that type of gathered that type of people talking about it for the last few days. Even the Ortiz and Wilder fight, man, we was talking about that fight for weeks and weeks after the fight happened. You know what I mean? So definitely Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? He's definitely the more exciting fighter, and he brought the best out of Tyson Fury, because typically Tyson Fury is not the most exciting fighter or exciting at all. But that fight right there, that man came to fight, man. The combinations, the one twos, man. The showboating he was doing, he put on the show. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. So at the end of the day, man, this video was all about Amir Khan. How you know what I mean, and how he's being hypocritical towards Anthony Joshua. Talking about Anthony Joshua is scared and has fear of Wilder. Like I said, if anybody else who was more credible said that, I could ride with you, but not Amir Khan. He is in no position to be talking about anybody being scared or fearing anybody when Kell Brook has been begging and trying to get that fight for the last 6 years. Um, Hop says he said, B Marsh, how good do you think Grosdick is or will become? Man, Grosdick's the best light heavyweight on the planet. I don't care what nobody says, man. No, sir. It ain't better, beef. You don't become the best heavyweight, light heavyweight in the world for going damn near going the distance with Enrico Coling. You know what I'm saying? Bivol, I don't even know who the fuck. Oh man, he beat that dude named Broadhurst or somebody, that Australian. Who the fuck was that guy? I'd never heard of him. He beat him in Monte Carlo for the WBA light heavyweight belt. Who is that guy? Who's the other champ we got? Elite Alvarez is the second best. He knocked out Kovalev. He did a better job on Kovalev than Andre Ward ever did. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And the light heavyweight, the longest reigning champion in boxing, man. Prayers up for Adonis Stevenson, man. I really do hope he recovers, man, and is in good condition. You know what I mean, to live the second half of his life. You know what I mean, but he was the best light heavyweight in the world, and so is Gravdik. And I think Gravdik, bronze medalist from the Ukraine. We'll see what kind of fights Bob Arum can put him in. I hope he doesn't put him in there with the likes of that Egyptian guy. Vosdik fought before Stevenson, but I think he can beat all the light heavyweights. Him versus Alvarez is the fight I'd love to see, and that's a fight that actually could be made happen because Alvarez is rematching Kovalev on ESPN Plus. Okay, and the guy Vozick is an ESPN top ranked fighter. So that's a fight that could happen. Hopefully, we'll see it in 2019. But I think he could become very good, man. He's from the Ukraine, man. You know what I mean? Got a lot of confidence, man. Ukrainians on a high with Lomachenko and Usyk. Now they got Vosdik in the picture. All three of them Olympians who've medaled. You know what I mean? Oh man, the Ukrainian takeover, man. Don't be surprised, dogs. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised, man. These fellas are on the come up, man. Dan the Man says, judging by social media, Fury has just become the most relevant heavyweight on the planet, man. They loving Fury, man, and it's only right. The guy rose from the dead, man, in that 12th round. You know what I mean? And even hurt the man Wilder after he rose from the dead. You know what I'm saying? So the British public, you know what I mean. From what I know, they love a good story. You know what I mean? As far as even if a guy doesn't win and he loses, he's still celebrated as a champion. So I'm sure they riding high with the man Fury over there. Mike 104 says even non-boxing fans are getting to know Wilder. Wilder is on a hell of memes right now to this day, no doubt about it. And he's done a lot of media after that fight. He's been on Stephen A. Smith's ESPN radio show. He's been on Colin Cowherd, the Herd on FS1, the show right after Undisputed, and he's been on there with that coon, that fat dude, Jason. It's not Jason somebody who's there with Marcellus Wiley, that dude who's always hating on Kaepernick, that fat dude. You know what I'm saying? And who said LeBron James can never go through racism because he's rich. That guy's stupid. But Wilder was on this show anyway. Mike D says, Dan the Man, his story is inspirational, no doubt about it. Yeah, man. Tyson Fury, and it's funny how Tyson Fury was some garbage and a cokehead before the Wilder fight on the Friday before. But after he damn near beats the man Wilder. That man is a great heavyweight now, you know what I'm saying? And even the channels that were hating on him, they fuck with him now in order to say Wilder's is a cold bum. Wilder couldn't even beat a cokehead, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like this guy Fury wasn't the best boxer in the division, skill wise, skills for skills. Got the best defense in the division, you know what I'm saying? Herky jerky dude don't even crack like that. But this guy is undefeated. You know what I mean? That's not no anomaly. Look, this the heavyweight division, man. All that boxing shit is cool, but at the end of the day, if you can't hurt your opponents, you're gonna get sparked out. I've yet to see it happen to Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Shizbiz says Yard will stay clear. Man, Yard ain't doing nothing, man. You can't forget about guys like Badu Jack. He's in the division too, but Badu Jack, he ain't beating Gvozdyk. No, that'll be a loss, his second loss of his career if he fucks with the man Gvozdyk. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, Mike D says to Shizbiz, what about Badu Jack? Where does he fit in? Badu Jack's a top five man. He's in there. He's one of the better light heavyweights. He probably could beat everybody except maybe Gvozdyk. Who knows if he can beat Elite Alvarez? Hop says, yeah, Elite Alvarez looked very good. What a fight it would be versus Gvozdyk for sure. Man, they need to make that happen. If I got Alvarez beating Kovalev in the rematch, Kovalev's bringing in Buddy McGirt. Big ups to Buddy McGirt. But you know, that's Kathy Duva trying to resurrect the man's career. She trying to bring Buddy McGirt in there to try to resurrect his career like he did for Arturo Gatti. So we'll see. We'll see if the proof is in the taste of the pudding with the addition of Buddy McGirt, James Buddy McGirt, in the corner of Kovalev. Mike D says, yeah, Jason Whitlock, exactly. That dude. That dude, man, he's bad news, man. He's bad. Shizbit says, surely Jack is up for all fights. Yeah, we'll see. He wasn't up for Bivol. But at the end of the day, I'm not mad at him. He ain't fight Bivol because he went for the lineal champion and the more lucrative payday and the number one guy in the division. So that's why I didn't say he ducked the man Bivol, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, right now, he's beltless and Bivol is a guy who should be on Badu Jack's radar. You know what I'm saying? Badu Jack, I'm hearing is supposed to be fighting Marcus Brown. I'd love to see that fight too, and I got Badu Jack beating that southpaw. Mike D says, I was slaying Fury when he didn't rematch Klitschko, but all in all, he gained my attention and respect. For sure. Um, Hop says, I'm sure you heard that Wilder himself was shocked at his last fight night weight of 209. Interesting. Yeah, I heard Wilder said he was on at 209. I don't understand that. What's wrong with his body? What that man didn't eat nothing? Did he starve himself? He ain't eat nothing after the weigh-in. How you weighing at 212 and come in 209? And the other guy came in at 255 on weigh-in and got up to 260. I don't know. Dan the man says, I remember getting laughed at last week because I predicted that Fury was going 12 rounds in a close fight with Wilder. LOL. He ain't gonna win the whole time, and Wilder ain't got no boxing skills, and he was gonna get out boxed. That's what I'm here for. All these people who are Wilder detractors, who did pick Wilder to knock him out, like I did. I predicted a stoppage on his feet or something. You know what I mean? But now they acting like they knew the whole time that Fury was gonna outbox him and he was gonna win on points. People be full of shit out here, man. Mike D says to at Hop, that helped him, in my honest opinion, to catching Fury. What, by being 209? Well, he's giving up a lot of weight, man. 209, man. That's rather small, man. That's too small, dogs. Hop says to Mike 104 to Mike D. Then we would respectfully disagree, Mike. I'd like to see Deontay come in at 10 or 15 pounds heavier. Yeah, at least 220. At least 220. Because look, what is this guy? 6'7", right? Michael Jordan in his prime before he had left before he had left the first retirement in 93, you know what I'm saying, after he had beat the Suns, he was about 210 and he's 6'6", you know what I mean? Wilder got a basketball player physique, you know what I mean? But look at some guards today like Marcus Smart on the Boston Celtics on my squad. 6'4", that motherfucker 250 at the point guard. You know what I'm saying? And he could play the shooting guard too. Dogs, guys like Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp was 6'10", 240 in his prime on the Seattle Supersonics. You know what I'm saying? You check it. So yeah, yeah, man. Wilder coming in at 212. Look, 212 is perfect if you're a master boxer and you got great foot movement, back foot movement like on some Rigondeaux shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a plotter and a guy coming forward being the aggressive fighter like Deontay Wilder was for the most part, which was also amazing to see the smaller guy stalking the bigger guy, although he missed a million shots, then unless you're a master boxer like that, man, you gotta come in there at a decent weight. 212 ain't cutting it, man. Nope. Mike D says to Hop, I thought Wilder would catch him, no lie. He did catch him. He did catch him, but the guy just got a chin. He got a chin. He got up. Hop says, do we have two Dan the Mans in here? Yeah, man, we do. And for the longest, for many years, I thought that Dan the Man with the what's his name, Jack Johnson avatar was Dan the Man, who has a boxing channel. You know what I mean? You check it, cause I'd see both of them back in the day in Beats channel in Beats, or maybe I just seen Dan the Man with the avatar. You know what I mean? Cause I really knew Dan the Man with the boxing channel. I think I knew him from I think I seen him on Boxing Librarian's channel back in the G, and that's when I seen his channel and subscribed. And I fucks with Dan the Man. Dan the Man knows his boxing, no doubt about it, man. We be talking that old school shit whenever we get online too, you know. Yeah. Mike 104 says, yeah, Hop, Dan the Man. Dan the Man as in plural. Dan the Man from UK says, yes, UK Dad and US Dad. Mike says to Hop, I mean, it works. What's there to fix? But he should pick up weight for AJ fight. That would be a fight for the century. I foresee fireworks. Me too, man. That's a fight I'd love to see. But I do feel like Deontay Wilder has unfinished business. You know what I mean? As a man, I love to see immediate rematches, or even if they don't do it immediately. You know what I mean? Just do it. Probably have one fight in between. You know what I'm saying? Even guys like Pernell Whitaker, he beat Buddy McGirt, James McGirt for his WBC 147-pound title. And the lineal, because that title was taken from Simon Brown by James McGirt, Buddy McGirt. The man Pernell Whitaker beat him, and he gave him a rematch. Still, you know what I'm saying? Mike D says to Dan the Man, I bet the UK lit right now. Yeah, for as far as heavyweight boxing, man, it's on and popping over there, man. This is like they golden age, really and truly, for heavyweight boxing over there in the UK. So yo, B March Boxing almost went an hour. I probably got another video I want to do, which actually is gonna take a little bit more. It's gonna take a little bit more homework and research. You know what I mean? So I gotta get ready for that. So I'm gonna seal the deal on this one. Let me read Hop's chat. Join right quick his comment one more time. Hop says to Mike D, a 260-pound man who outweighs you by 50 pounds, leaning on you all night saps your endurance. Notice Wilder couldn't summon a drop more gas to finish off a vulnerable Fury, and that's exactly what I saw too, Hop, and that really pissed me off, man. This guy had no energy, man. He was gassed. He was tired, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, Deontay Wilder was there dancing and shit when he dropped the man in the 12th, and he seen that man get up. He couldn't believe that shit, you know what I mean? And then all that dancing stuff, that takes energy out of you too, you know what I mean? So yo, B March Boxing by the Seal Deal, big ups to Dan the Man. Mike D, the so-called black, big ups to Hop, big ups to both Dan the Man. Dan the Man, uh, big ups to Mike 104, Shiz Biz. Thanks for everybody participating. Unbiased or biased boxing talk. March MB. Thanks for everybody coming through and participating and contributing with your thoughts. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace. One of demons too. Big ups to you, son. One.